The Earth settlement in Greenland's old ice caves had secrets. It was where the interworld defense stored prisoners from alien wars. Most were too dangerous, but one, kept in a bio-sealed chamber at the farthest point, was different. Commander. Ryan Taro wasn't supposed to go in, but orders didn't matter when a whisper reached his ears. Not a sound, but a feeling, like a soft hand brushing across the soul. He followed that strange pull, deeper into the ice tunnels, until he reached the cold glass door with red bio-warnings blinking. Inside, a tall woman sat, her skin pale silver with a shimmer like moonlight. Her long black hair fell like liquid, ink over her shoulders. Strange markings curled across her collarbones like ancient writing. Her eyes opened, not blue, not green, a living violet glow. "You are not afraid," she said softly, voice like falling snow. "No," Ryan replied, stepping closer. "Are you dangerous?" She stood tall and proud, the white robe around her thin but elegant. Her hands rose in peace. "Not anymore. My people lost. I am the last of the Avian Guard." "And your name?" "Orenthia," she said, then bowed her head slowly. "But you may call me Thea." Ryan stared through the glass. Her voice was calm, but her eyes, they were filled with something old, pain, loss, and something else, a hunger that had nothing to do with food. "Why did you whisper to me?" he asked. Thea pressed her hand to the glass. "Because I chose you." Ryan's heart beat faster, a strange warmth climbing his chest. He didn't know what she meant, but he didn't walk away. They allowed Ryan to speak with Thea once a day. Others thought she was harmless, broken from war. But Ryan saw more. She was strong, even in stillness. Her body healed quickly, her movements graceful. But it was her mind that held him, sharp, deep, yet gentle when turned toward him. "I don't want to be locked away forever," she whispered during one visit, her fingers brushing the cold barrier between them. "I want to live. Breathe. Touch. You're not a threat?" "Only if you hurt me," she smiled. A slow curve of her lips that made Ryan forget the chill in the air. Then came the night of the explosion. Unknown rebels attacked the base. Alarms screamed. Chaos everywhere. Ryan ran through smoke and fire. He knew exactly where he had to go. Thea's chamber. He found it cracked open by falling debris. Smoke filled the hall. Guards lay injured. She could have escaped. But she was. Kneeling beside one, pressing cloth to a wound. "You didn't run?" he asked, stunned. "I told you. I chose you." He stared at her. "Come with me. Now." They moved through the broken halls, dodging flames and falling steel. They made it to an old emergency bunker deep beneath the ice, a place no one remembered. They sealed the door. Silence returned. Breathing heavily, Ryan looked at her. She was bruised, covered in soot, but her eyes still glowed with that same strange light. "I didn't know if I'd make it," he said, sitting against the wall. "You made it, and you brought me with you." Thea sat beside him. "You kept your promise." "I didn't make a promise. You did, in your heart." She looked at him then, not with fear or distance, but longing. "I am strong, human," she whispered. "My body was bred for war. It endures. It survives. It can create strong children. That's what my people believed. But I want more than survival. I want to be yours." His breath caught. She leaned in slowly with no rush. Her fingers brushed his, then rested on his knee. Her skin was warm, not cold like the ice outside. "I want to feel your arms around me," she whispered, voice shaking just a little. "To know that I still have worth beyond fighting. Let me give you something no war could destroy." Ryan looked at her. Really. Looked and understood. He reached out and pulled her into a quiet embrace, and for the first time in years, Thea closed her eyes and smiled. Days passed inside the frozen bunker. Food was limited, and warmth came only from the emergency generator and each other's presence. But Ryan didn't mind. He had Thea, and for reasons he couldn't fully explain, that was enough. They shared stories during the long hours. Ryan told her about the oceans of Earth, his childhood chasing waves, the scent of sea salt and firewood. He spoke of loss too, his parents, his brother, and the silence that followed after war swallowed them all. Thea listened closely, her fingers often finding his hand during the hard parts. "My people never had oceans," she said once, her head resting lightly against his shoulder. "Only sand, heat, and training. Even as a girl, I was expected to fight. No time for dreams, no songs, no love." "You never had someone?" he asked gently. "None that I chose. Only those chosen for me. And you didn't want them?" "I didn't want duty. I wanted feeling. I wanted to look at someone and feel safe." Her eyes lifted to meet his, like I feel now. Ryan touched her cheek, thumb brushing a smudge of dust. Her skin glowed faintly in the dim light. Her gaze didn't flinch. Instead, it deepened. "Ryan," she whispered, "I meant what I said. My body is strong. My people believed in creating powerful children through matching strength with strength. But I want more than strength." She took his hand and placed it gently over her heart. "I want love. I want to give it, not because I was bred to, but because I feel it now. I feel it for you." Ryan swallowed, his heart hammering. In the quiet of that icy bunker, where death had almost reached them and the world above might still be burning, something tender bloomed between them, not from desperation, but from connection, from the honesty of shared survival. He leaned in, slowly, letting her warmth draw him. Their lips met, not with fire, but with deep, aching need. A kiss that said everything their words could not. A promise made without speaking. When they pulled apart, she trembled slightly, her silver lashes fluttering. "I never thought I'd belong to someone," she said softly. "But now, I want to belong to you." "You're not a possession, Thea." "I know. That's why I choose it." Outside, the storm howled through the cracks in the ice. But inside the bunker, it was calm. Two souls had found each other. Not in a world of light, but in the shadows where truth still lived. The generator hummed low as their only light flickered. Time passed strangely in the bunker, measured not in hours, but in touches, glances, and whispers shared between two hearts once shaped by war, now softened by each other. Thea had changed. Ryan noticed it first in how she smiled more often, how her laughter, soft and rare, sounded like wind brushing petals. She no longer stood guard like a soldier, always alert, always distant. Now she leaned into him freely, without shame, without fear. "Your warmth," she murmured one morning as they lay wrapped in a thermal blanket. "It anchors me. My people used to say love was weakness, but now I know. It's what makes us strong." Ryan kissed her forehead gently. "You're already strong, but when you love someone, you fight harder, you live deeper." Her hand slid to her belly then, her expression quiet but thoughtful. "Do you think it's possible for your kind and mine to create life together?" He blinked, caught off guard. "I don't know. Maybe." "Why?" She looked at him with a mix of hope and fear. "Because I feel something. I don't know if it's real or just wish, but inside me, something's different." Ryan sat up slightly, brushing her hair aside. "Are you scared?" Thea shook her head slowly. "No. Not if it's with you. She pulled his hand over her stomach. This body was designed for survival. It heals fast. It adapts. Maybe it found a way. They didn't speak for a moment. Instead, they let the silence carry their thoughts. Finally, Ryan said, "If there is life, if there's a child, we'll protect it. Together. I'll raise them beside you. They'll never know cages or war. Only love." Tears filled her violet eyes, glowing softly in the dark. "I beg to be set free," she whispered. "Not from walls, but from loneliness. I wanted to give someone strong children, not because of orders, but because of love. And now, you gave me that. You gave me you." He kissed her again, deeper, fuller. Their bodies fit together like stars falling into orbit, and when they finally held each other close, warm despite the frozen world around them, Thea said something he would never forget. "If this child is real, they will be the first of a new bond, human and avian, born not from conquest, but from choice, from two broken souls who dared to heal." Ryan whispered back, "And they will be loved. Always." Outside, the storm began to settle. But inside the bunker, something far stronger stirred. New life. The world outside thawed slowly. Rescue came 5 days later. By then, the bunker had become more than shelter. It had become home. When the base team broke through the frozen corridor, they found Ryan standing protectively in front of Thea, who no longer looked like a prisoner. She stood with calm strength, one hand on her stomach, the other in his. They were questioned, of course, debriefed, scanned. Medicals were puzzled. Thea's vitals were normal, but her body showed changes. Subtle at first, then undeniable. Her genes were adapting, rewriting, and something new pulsed within her, a heartbeat that was not hers alone. The scientists debated, argued, disbelieved. But Thea didn't care. She placed her hand over her belly and whispered softly, "You are mine. You are his. You are ours." Ryan requested leave from duty. He wouldn't leave her side. They were transferred to a quiet facility on Earth, far from noise, politics, and fearful eyes. There, Thea began to grow. Her once sharp figure softened, curved. Her violet eyes brightened more each day. She laughed more often, sang quiet melodies in her native tongue, ones no human had ever heard. "You're glowing," Ryan whispered one evening, tracing his fingers across her stomach as she rested. In his arms. "I feel alive," she said with a small smile. "For the first time in my life, I feel real." He kissed her slowly, sweetly, and she melted into him, breathing his scent like it was her favorite air. As weeks passed, word spread. An alien woman carrying a human child. Some feared it, others hoped. Leaders whispered of peace treaties, of what this birth might mean. But to Thea and Ryan, none of that mattered. Their love had not been forged in diplomacy, but in survival, in soft words whispered beneath ice and in the warmth of skin against skin when death closed in. Then came the night. Storms howled outside the quiet cabin they had been given, and inside, Thea cried out, not in pain, but in power. Ryan held her hand, eyes wide, breath caught. She squeezed his fingers tight as her body trembled, glowing faintly with silver fire. And then, a sound. Soft. New. A cry. They looked down together, a tiny form, pale-skinned, with a soft violet shimmer. Human-shaped, but something more. Their child, the first of a new kind. Thea wept openly, her voice thick with emotion. "I gave you strong children, Ryan. But more than that, I gave you my heart." He kissed her tear-streaked cheek, trembling. "And I'll spend the rest of my life protecting both. That night, under the stars, a new future was born. Not from war, but from love.